this is Edge Villa, and we would have been open a week after Easter Sunday, but of course we won't be. We're South Shropshire, 400 feet up, 2 acres in a very windy site. So we have lots of hedges, but at the moment it's the spring flowers that are looking fantastic. Here we've got Fritillaria Meliagris, which started as 3 plants and then have slowly spread, and I've helped them spread. And if you want to propagate them, they take 3 years from seed to flower. It's nice having different coloured leaves and variegation to vary the trees and shrubs. So here we've got Rhamnus alterna, almost reedii, a golden elm, which is rather nice because we've lost all the other elms in the garden. An acer, dark-leafed acer, and a variegated holly. More variegation in an actinidia, a euonymus, and the Banksian rose, which is at its best at the moment. Iris, which is slightly fragrant and flowers for months, called Iris italica. And hydrangea Annabelle, and a weed which is variegated mallow, which pops up all over the garden, but everybody always asks us what it is. It's only a biennial, to grow anywhere in absolute drought. It's a treasure in the garden. The white Banksian rose with a wisteria that's escaped through the middle of it. A really fragrant Daphne, Cneorum, very difficult to propagate, although I've discovered you can layer it. If you have to be patient, it takes about 18 months, with a variegated sage, which vaguely protects it in the winter. Another ceanothus, they're all cuttings of each other, taken from elsewhere in the garden, a lilac. Cornus argentea, Papyrus salicifolia, they all fit in quite well together. The bleached crab apples have now finished blossoming, but instead the irises are all starting to come out. There's a lovely mauvey one there, which is good to paint if you're a painter. A promise of future amazing flowering in the Cardiocrinum giganteum. Most of those have been grown from seed, and they take 10 years from seed to flower. This year there are going to be about 10 flower heads in spring. Sadly they're monocarpic, they'll then die, but they will have offshoots that will flower, possibly in 3 years' time. So the trick is to buy a bulb 3 years running, and then hopefully you'll have some in flower every year. Magnolia Wilsonia, which is a much later flowering magnolias than some of the others, so usually it escapes frost damage. But in this case the new leaves got frosted a bit, but luckily the flowers weren't out and they're now coming into their own. This should have been a tree, but a puppy ate the top of it, so it's grown slightly wider and I think more impressively in some ways. So this is our pond, which was an old dew pond that we've now lined, and we have all the candelabra, primulus, irises, a few hostas around it, and dioramas, but not right by the water. The dioramas prefer the drier patch around this pond. So a long border that has interest for most of the year. This end is the sort of red, orange, yellow section, Pacific irises, geums. One of the few tulips that seems to come again, which is a triple-headed red georgette. Going into the artichoke further along the border, which gives it grey interest all year. We hope you've enjoyed the mini tour of Edge Villa in South Shropshire, and we look forward to seeing you soon before long. We open 2 or 3 times a year and propagate lots of plants for you to buy.